Okay, so have you heard about this new thing with Google Notebook LM? Because it's kind of blowing my mind a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely making some noise, right? Like,
Right.
even for someone like me who follows this stuff pretty closely, it's like, whoa, Google just took it up a notch.
Yeah, for those who maybe haven't been following every single AI update, so we're talking about Google Notebook LM, right? And the big news is this new feature.
The audio, right? Like, it can actually have a conversation about the stuff you feed it.
Yeah, exactly. Like you upload a research paper or a bunch of articles, and it doesn't just summarize it, it actually spits out like a podcast-style discussion about it.
And honestly, the first time I heard it, I was floored. It's not just the tech, it's how human it sounds.
Right. It's not like that old robotic text-to-speech
Yeah.
at all. I mean, TechRadar called it too real, and I gotta say,
They might be onto something. Like, it really does feel like you're listening in on two people actually talking about this stuff.
it's crazy how they do that. Like, what makes these synthetic voices so much better than what we're used to?
It's a lot of things, but I think the biggest one is the data. They're training these AIs on just mountains of conversational data. So it's not just learning how to say words, it's learning how people actually talk.
So it's like it's picking up on all those little things, right? The pauses, the inflections, like how we kind of interrupt each other sometimes.
Exactly. And that's what makes it so convincing. It's not just the words, it's the music of the conversation.
So I was reading this article by Beth Z, who writes a lot about AI, and she made a really good point. Like, at first, she wasn't that impressed with Notebook LM, but then this audio feature dropped. And,
It's a game changer.
right, like suddenly, it's not just a tool for researchers or like super techie people. It's actually useful for anyone who wants to learn something new.
Absolutely. And that's what's so exciting about this. It's like we've been talking about personalized learning for ages, but this actually has the potential to make it a reality.
Right. And I know they're really pushing this for students, especially auditory learners, but I'm thinking bigger picture here.
Oh, yeah.
Like, imagine trying to get up to speed on a new industry report for work. Instead of spending hours reading it, you could have this AI basically give you the highlights in this super engaging way.
It's like having a personal tutor break it all down for you.
Exactly. And that's got to be a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Like making information more accessible, more digestible.
Oh, without a doubt. This could be huge, not just for how we learn, but for how we process information in general.
And honestly, we're just scratching the surface here. I mean, Beth Z in her article, she lists all these potential use cases and
Oh, it's mind-blowing when you really start to think about it.
absolutely. Like, it's not just about summarizing information anymore. It's about changing how we interact with it completely.
And like she had this one example in her article about job applications, right? Imagine you could ditch the boring old resume and instead
From a podcast episode.
basically, but like a super polished one, you know, that's tailored to that specific job, highlighting all your relevant skills.
So instead of just listing your experience, you're letting them actually hear about it.
Yeah. And not just hear about it, but hear about it in a way that's engaging, you know? It's like you're painting a picture with sound.
I like that. So it's not just about the information itself. It's about how you present it.
Exactly. And that goes way beyond just job hunting, right? Think about training at a company. Instead of putting everyone through the same old program.
You could have these personalized audio courses.
Yeah. Based on your role, your experience level, all of that. So like if you're already familiar with something,
Yeah, you just skip ahead.
boom, no more wasting time in those intro to whatever sessions. And for companies with remote teams or people with crazy schedules,
It's perfect. Learn on your own time at your own pace.
like having a 24/7 tutor in your pocket. And here's the kicker. Right now, this tech is totally free. Google, Notebook LM, anyone can use it.
Free. Okay, there's got to be a catch, right?
Well, Google's not exactly known for giving away the farm. I mean, they're definitely gathering tons of data from this, refining their algorithms.
Right, because building these AIs, that takes a lot of power, a lot of resources.
Oh, yeah, it's not cheap. So enjoy it while it lasts, right? Because this free ride probably won't last forever.
Especially with how fast things are moving in the AI world. Like, just when you think you've seen it all.
Bam! Something new pops up and blows your mind again.
And it makes you wonder, like, where does it all end? And it kind of makes you think, right? Like,
Where do we fit in?
yeah, exactly. If AI can do all this stuff, summarize complex info, have these crazy realistic conversations, even personalize things based on how you learn best, then
What does that say about us?
right, like we started this whole deep dive being amazed by this AI. But now it's like, wait a minute.
Is it going to take our jobs?
Well, maybe, maybe not. But it definitely makes you question, like, what is it that makes human expertise valuable in the first place?
And It's a question we're all going to have to figure out, right? Like this AI stuff, it's not going away.
No, it's only going to get more intense from here.
Exactly. And honestly, I don't have all the answers,
Me neither.
but I do think it's something worth thinking about, you know? Like Betsy said, this is just the beginning. We're on the edge of a whole new world here,
It's
and
both exciting and kind of terrifying at the same time.
no doubt about it. But hey, that's the world we live in now, right? Fast-moving, unpredictable, always something new around the corner.
So if you're listening to this and your mind isn't totally blown, I don't know what to tell you. Seriously, check out Google Notebook LM if you haven't already. Play around with it, see what it can do. It might just change how you think about learning, about information, about the future. And hey, while you're at it, check out the show notes for some of the articles we talked about. We've got some links to Beth Z's work, some other cool stuff too. It's all there waiting for you. Until next time, keep those brains buzzing and keep on diving deep.